Hi there, Craig Parry from ISO Energy here. We want to talk to you today about the world's latest high-grade uranium discovery that we've made in the Athabasca Basin. But before we do that, I'll just touch on some of the things that we're seeing in uranium markets and why we think it's not too late and a good time to get set in what is, fast becoming a very serious bull market. So, of course, COVID-19, a terrible time for the world, but that's led to some serious production cutbacks, primarily from Kazatomprom and the Kazakh producers, and of course from Cameco closing their Cigar Lake mine. So what that's meant is that the market at the moment, primary demand is about 194 million pounds per annum. It was primary production prior to COVID-19 cutbacks were sitting at about 120 million pounds per annum. Today, on an annualized rate, we think that current production is about 70 to 80 million pounds per annum. So we're in a serious supply deficit situation. Of course, those closures have led to the uranium price jumping from $23 a pound 3 months ago to about $33 to $34 a pound today. And we think that there's another leg coming because, of course, Cigar Lake, Cameco are telling people that Cigar Lake's not going to come back on stream anytime soon, and until they see $50 plus uranium prices. And Kazatomprom, of course, are not feeding any product into the spot market this year, which really has destroyed that spot market completely. So when Kazatomprom's wells close and finish pumping leachate over the next few weeks, we think that's when we'll see that next leg up in uranium prices. So what does that mean? Well, we don't think it's too late to get set in the uranium market. Of course, I'll put a share price chart here. It's a company we started back in 2011 in the uranium space. Of course, Fukushima happened in 2011, the same year we were starting this company. And you would think that share price chart wouldn't go too well. But of course, it went very well. We made a discovery at NextGen, the Arrow deposit in the Athabasca Basin. And all I'm showing here is that despite a terrible market, the discovery can really seriously advantage shareholders. And that's what we've done there at NextGen. And we're doing the same here at ISO Energy. So discovery still matter is crucial to take away from this. The other thing is that the combined market capitalization of our sector back in 2011 was about $150 billion. Today, our sector is valued at about $10 billion, rounding it up. So $10 billion. So the beta potential alone in our sector is tremendous. So you don't have to do too much to get set. You can buy a basket of stocks and it could go very well. And if you're going to build a basket of stocks, it's pretty straightforward to do as well, because back in 2011, there were over 500 listed uranium explorers, developers and producers. Today, it's about 50, and we reckon probably 30 of those are actually active and worth looking at. So you can build a basket of those stocks to invest. And what do you expect when markets bounce back from the low level that they've been on? Well, we saw that in the last boom. We saw companies like the gold standard, of course, was Paladin. Rick Rule talks very fondly about that, of course, rose from 5 cents a share all the way to $10 a share, a 200 bagger for Rick Rule and investors in Paladin. So you can do extraordinarily well in a boom market in uranium. So if you like that thesis and the straightforward nature of that investment thesis, you can build a basket of stocks, or you can look to someone who's got a high-grade discovery, of which there's one at the moment, and that's ISO Energy. And you can see there our core tray, the core tray there from our best hole to date. That was from our winter program. We made this discovery back in 2018. We drilled one hole. We've just completed our most important program to date. That hole there, hole LE34, we hit 8.5 meters at 34% uranium. Now, that's the second best drill hole in any commodity anywhere on the planet in the last this year. That in gold equivalent terms is 8.5 meters at about 320 grams per ton gold equivalent. So extraordinarily high grade mineralization, typical of what the Athabasca can provide, of course. And you can see we've had a slew of other fantastic results from that program over the winter just gone. And if there's one other thing that you should take away from this presentation is that in about 4 weeks' time, we're going to have another 2 rigs out there and drilling in and around that mineralisation. So you can expect plenty of good news flow. Now, where are we in the Athabasca Basin? So that's in Saskatchewan, of course, the #1 mining jurisdiction in the world, as decided by the Fraser Institute Survey of Mining Executives. And you can see here our big land position. We've got a land position that's almost as large as the majors, including Orano and Cameco. And we sit in and around and very close to the world's biggest uranium and highest grade uranium mines. And very importantly, a number of milling facilities are available. All of the infrastructure and all of the people are in place that you would need to develop a project there. Our Larocque East project sits up here, only 40 kilometres away from the McLean Lake Mill, which is very important. That mill's currently underfed. It's owned by the French giant Orano, and come 2026, the likely closure of Cigar Lake will mean that mill no longer has any ore feed. So we're strategically located very close to the exact place you need to be to benefit from the discovery of a uranium deposit. Now onto the hurricane zone. This is our property here. This yellow zone is the zone of mineralisation we've proven up so far. We've proven up a 600 metres long strike extent, 40 metres wide, 8 to 10 metres thick, of very, very high grade mineralisation. You can see some of our hits there from our winter program, plenty of 8 metre hits at north of 20% uranium, so a true high grade discovery. And very importantly, as I say, we will have 2 rigs turning very shortly. And in this high grade zone, you can see here defined by the orange polygons, this you can see our best targets. We haven't closed off any of the sections yet. So our best target here is target A. We'll be drilling right alongside some of those highest grade hits we've had, and then up here in our target zone B before we come over and test some of the more lateral extensions of the deposit. So look out for some good news flow. You can see here on this section a good example of what we'll be following up. So that massive hit we had, hole 34, we drilled 8.5 metres at 34% uranium. We'll be drilling in and around and close to those, looking to close those sections off. So exciting news to come there. Another good example of a section with some high-grade mineralisation, again not closed off, so we'll be drilling to close that off. And you can see some of the spectacular results, hitting mineralisation up to nearly 80% U3O8, so getting up against the boundaries of stoichiometry. And beyond that, we have our hurricane zone sitting down here, the conductive trend that sits on. There are a number of other very well mineralised intercepts on our property that we'll be getting out and testing as well over the next year or two. So plenty of potential for a further discovery. The deposit sits there not too deep, only 325 metres below the surface, not below a body of water, very much amenable to some of the modern mining techniques that have come along. So we're uniquely positioned in that sense. Lastly, just on the capital structure and where we're at, of course, we're a spin out of NextGen Energy. I was a co-founder with our chairman, Lee Courier, who's the CEO of NextGen. NextGen's a very supportive and happy shareholder. NextGen's contributed over $2.5 million in each of the last raises, $3 million, in fact, in the last raise. Sits there with 52% of the company. We've got Orano on the register, Cameco, and a bunch of institutional shareholders that love what we're doing. So we offer investors a huge amount of torque. And the final thing is we will be drilling very, very soon. So look out for that. I thank you all very much. Enjoy the conference.